I don't see anyone talking about this anywhere on YouTube. This lady has tweeted this. The name is Ann Vandersteel. She says banking collapse imminent. The reset has begun. I'm going to read you what she says. Effective March 26, 2020, the Federal Reserve Board reduced reserve requirement ratios on all net transaction accounts to 0%, eliminating reserve requirements for all depository institutions. In spring of 2023, the banking collapse started with smaller regional banks. In spring 2024, the next wave of banking collapse will continue. November 2023, the CEOs of Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and JP Morgan told Congress they could not go from zero reserves to be held to a 3% reserve balance. The current balance to loan ratios means the banks cannot sustain any type of run on the banks. When the people realize what is happening, there will be a run on the banks. Effective March the 11th of this year, there will be no more money to loan out, and the Fed will pick up and choose who gets to loan out money. Congress passed the bail-in provision with 2010 Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, which allows the banks to confiscate assets. The bail-in relief was legalized in the U.S. following the 2007-2008 financial crisis, in which banks deemed too big to fail were bailed out by the U.S. government. The specific section of Dodd-Frank that deals with bail-ins is Title II, Orderly Liquidation Authority. Who's exposed? 401ks, retirement accounts. Currently, there are $27 trillion in retirement accounts. People with cash positions in banks will have their money taken. The banks have already started this by limiting how much money you can take out. This lady says, transfer on Zelle or move in general. What does this mean? This will be the demise of the middle class, leading to a recession and then depression. People will be left with nothing if they do not diversify their cash into paying off loans, buying gold, silver, crypto, or other hard assets. What's the potential? This could keep Trump from winning the White House. In a bank collapse, the government could institute martial law, shut the banks, and ration your access to money. The loss already sustained in 2020 is worse than what happened in 2008. The stock market manipulation, coupled with the massive money printing and inflation, has done a better job of masking the incoming collapse. And collapse is coming. Worldwide markets, Hong Kong, Japan, S&P, Dow, all-time highs. Why? BlackRock and Vanguard control trillions in assets, and they are manipulating those stocks with sustained earnings and rotating out any stocks that can't perform and rotating in AI stocks into S&P 500 and other exchanges. The result, the stock markets will hang in there, but the banks and the dollar will collapse. Cryptos are going crazy and will allow purchasing stocks with crypto. And as BRICS come more online, you're going to see the transfer to asset-backed transactions like the new ABAX exchange will facilitate in LNG, and battery metals. What is the hedge against inflation? With them last month in the crypto market, you can't ignore that crypto. Gold and silver are the hedge against inflation. Warning, keep cash in banks is not the safe nor smart play. Putin had his take on the US dollar too. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just showing you what this lady, pull your money out of the banks and deposit it in the credit unions as soon as possible, they say. Are credit unions safer than banks in a collapse? Yes, according to this article here. Generally speaking, credit unions are safer than banks in a collapse. This is because credit unions use fewer risk, serving individuals and small businesses, rather than large investors like a bank. Credit unions are member-owned, not-for-profit organizations that serve a smaller, more defined client base within a community. On the other hand, banks serve most of the population with multiple locations and access to bankers nationally or globally. Because of this, investors and large corporations would choose a bank over a credit union. Once again, I am not a financial advisor. If you want to see this tweet, I'll go ahead and leave the link in the description. It is by this lady, Ann Vandersteel. Please hit the thumbs up.
What does the debt of $33 trillion tell us about? As soon as the political leadership decided to use the US dollar as a tool of political struggle, a blow was dealt to this American power. I would not like to use any strong language, but it is a stupid thing to do and a grave mistake. Look at what is going on in the world. Even the United States allies are now downsizing their dollar reserves. Seeing this, everyone starts looking for ways to protect themselves. But the fact that the United States applies restrictive measures to certain countries, such as placing restrictions on transactions, freezing assets, etc., causes grave concern and sends a signal to the whole world. Do you even realize what is going on or not? Does anyone in the United States realize this? What are you doing? You are cutting yourself off. All experts say this. Ask any intelligent and thinking person in the United States what the dollar means for the US. You're killing it with your own hands.